Sports here. We on episode 61. We got week 16 upcoming, incoming, inbound. We got a bunch of good games, a big slate to go over. We got Thursday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Christmas Day games. I mean, it's just a lot to go over. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll sprinkle in a little bit of rapid fire. But with all that being said, enjoy the show. Here to discuss that. Like I said before, we got games on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, even Christmas Day. Huge slates, a lot of playoff implications. Lawrence, I'll let you start first. What you got for us? First game of the week.
All right. I feel honored and blessed to start first. I'm going to start off with a strong one. They're going to make their case for I guess make their case for ruining hopes and killing dreams. I'm going, unless circumstances change, I'm going to be going to Cleveland and Houston.
Oh.
And I'm going to be looking for Cleveland to pull off that upset win. Actually, they're the favorite, but I don't know how. But I guess because Chase Keenum is playing. On here, it's pretty much a pick 'em almost. But Cleveland is a 3-point favorite. But anyways, Joe Flacco, currently with the Browns, is just having an air raid attack. This last game, it did come down to earth a little bit, but it's nothing like too insane. I don't believe. And this is going to be one of those games that's on Christmas Eve, but not Eve. It's more like Christmas Eve day of. So it's nothing crazy. It's just, it's a good job they put it, on Christmas Eve, because I think this was on Christmas Day. I don't know if I would watch it or not, because Christmas Day sort of is for the NBA. I'm kind of glad the only interesting game was, Baltimore Ravens and 49ers at 8:15, because obviously at those two time periods, the games that they have on for the NBA are pretty trash. I'm talking about them Heaties.
Not true.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we offended him, everyone. Anywho, getting back to this game, I think this is the game that Cleveland kind of solidifies and marks themselves as 5th seed. But the reason why I think this is like a really big game and why it's going to mean so much is like Houston pretty much just saved their season last week against the Titans.
Yep.
But that comeback overtime win, I mean, sheesh. If you lost that one, you're sitting there at 7-7, and that's just like outside looking in for the AFC. And essentially, Houston has to keep winning if they want to make the playoffs, because their schedule coming up is Browns, Titans, and Colts. Colts want to make the playoffs, so they're going to play you really hard. Titans, well, you just beat them, and I mean that's just a get back game. That's just a revenge game for the Titans. So you can't be going in there all willy nilly. Like, oh yeah, we just beat them, so we can beat them again. No, they should have beaten you. Not going to say you got lucky, but things have been fortunate in your favor to allow you to come back and win that game. Coins don't always flip twice the same way, so essentially they get to have two home games back to back, and then get to finish at the Colts. In my opinion, Houston just needs to start winning and win out. That's just how they have to do it. That's how they have to have their mindset, because currently you're behind the Colts. You can make that up in the last week, but you're fighting there with Cleveland Browns. If they win this game, you're not catching them. So that automatically is a spot gone. Then you're fighting with the Broncos, Steelers, Bengals, Colts. I mean, you name it. Bills. You're fighting everyone. So, and essentially looking at it in a different perspective, if the Bills, like we look at them, are really red hot as they are right now, you're basically playing for one playoff spot. Because Bills, Dolphins, they're both probably getting in. Browns are getting in if they win this game. Outside of that, it's like, okay, everyone's going to be fighting for the last spot. Because if we think the Bills are as red hot as they are, the Bills are going to squeak in there. or the Dolphins are going to take their place at the bottom of the barrel in the AFC. Then you got the Bengals I want in. I mean, you can't lose. And I feel like this might be, like I said, if circumstances stay the way that they are and CJ Stroud doesn't play, I kind of favor Cleveland heavy in this game. I think the lines are the way they are because they believe that CJ Stroud will play. But that concussion he got was pretty severe. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can make a turnaround. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know how you look at this division as well, because the Jags are not good anymore. Like they're just they're fish out of water. They probably should have let Trevor Lawrence take a couple weeks off. He got injured and he hasn't won a game since getting injured. And they're now 8-6 as well. So it's a crapshoot for the division. You can't lose one game, and I think that's why this game is going to be so important. Is I think the Browns solidify themselves, their position, and I think the Cleveland Browns, if they solidify their position this week, because if they win, they're basically in. You can make a case of you can pick who you want to play because you're probably not going to win the division, so you can pick who you want to play and the division. I mean, you lose 2 games so you can be the 6th seed. So be it. You be the 6th seed because you think your matchup is more favorable in that position. Or you want to be the 5th seed, by all means, be the 5th seed. But it doesn't really change much, 5th, 6th, or 7th seed. It's just basically kind of how you want to match it up, who you want to play against. But if I was the Browns, I want to be playing that 4th seed because I think whoever comes out of the AFC South is it's going to be beaten up or a questionable team at this point in the season. Because Jags, they look fun to beat up. Colts, I mean, Gardner Minshew is playing pretty good, but do we believe it? Well, do we believe he can do it in the playoffs? And then, I mean, Houston, if they get in the playoffs with CJ Stroud at the 4th seed, just kind of think how fun it would be to take advantage of a rookie quarterback and it's most like, most of the time they don't do good in their first shots in the playoffs. They got to figure out where that ice in the vein comes from.
Yeah, no, I agree. It'll be interesting to see what happens coming out of this game. My first game of the week is pretty obvious. Playoff implications. Cincy and Pittsburgh. Mitch the Bitch is not starting anymore. Mason Rudolph is now their starting quarterback. A lot of controversy coming out of Pittsburgh. People starting to question good coach, good old Mike Tomlin, one of my favorite coaches, even though he's a rival. You heard Big Ben talking a little smack, talking about the culture isn't right. Offense isn't like the defense anymore. Saw last week how George Pickens didn't block because on that one rushing play because he didn't want to, have any injuries or whatever kind of bullshit response he said. They're cooked, I think. I mean, we've been saying it for weeks, and we said it last episode. Like, it's just not looking good. We said injuries are going to start piling up, and they're going to start losing their mojo. It seems like, getting rid of Matt Canada didn't really fix anything. If you look at the statistics, there are 2 points less per game offensively. So I know Kenny is out, but that's just not a good look right there. Najee Harris just doesn't look good at all. I mean, you can see his stats: 4 touchdowns. I mean,
Bryce
that's not
Young
good.
is having a horrible season and has more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
So
that tells you all you need to know right there. And we all thought Pickett would take some type of leap this year, and he has regressed.
How many games has Flacco played in? 2 or 3? Is it 3? Right?
Flacco's in 2, I think. No,
because Flacco has more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett as well.
Yeah, it's really crazy. So with all this turmoil, even though they are playing, I think they're playing in Pittsburgh. I think even at home, Pittsburgh they're not in a good spot. I think they lost 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
No, 3 in a row. Lost the last 4 out of 5. I mean, the spread is at -2. It's probably gonna be close because, since he defensively hasn't been good, but they've gotten stops when they needed it.
So that under? Is it under at 36 now? And it started at 39. Now it's at 36. Ouch. 39 looked fun. But now 36 looks. So To me, this looks like a fun game to parlay Bengals money line with under 39.5. So buy some points on the over under and take the money line of the Bengals.
Yeah, because the points as is right now, I'm leaning more towards over, just because I feel like both teams can put up at least 18. I feel like, but or since he could probably put up like 24, 27, something like that, and then Steelers could score like I don't know. They could definitely score because our defense, like I said, hasn't been good. But I mean, with this, I'm thinking as far as betting, this is a pick 'em, but I would pick Cincinnati. Maybe parlay that into something else, get some juice. Um, but yeah, Chase is out for at least 1 week, so Higgins, Tanner Hudson, Irwin, Boyd, you're going to have to step up. Jake Browning, you're going to have to watch out, buddy, because that Pittsburgh front is still going to come after you. I know TJ is a little bit banged up, but when it's a division game, that makes it even better. So he's definitely going to suit up and he's going to come after you. So, yeah, I'm going Bengals. What you got for your second game?
Alrighty. My second game, I'm looking down the list. I'm looking at all the interesting factoids. Man, I thought about it beforehand. I know we're going to talk about Baltimore, San Francisco later on, probably together.
Yep.
We've already talked about Dallas, Miami, low key, last episode, so I don't need to get right back into that either. We basically kind of hit on that. I mean, if we're talking about potential upsets, something interesting to that might happen this weekend. I mean, it would be a Christmas miracle in my opinion. But I can see in a world based on how the first matchup went, the Raiders beating the Chiefs. I know they're in Kansas City, but based on how that first matchup went, I just feel like that coach for the Raiders,
Travis Kelce, is not as productive.
I think the players at this point are playing. The players for the Raiders are playing like the players for the Panthers did last year, for
Steve
Wilkes, and I think it's being rewarded because that coach he looks like he's doing a masterclass. I mean,
yeah, Antonio Pierce is good. He's good,
and you also got to think about it like the Raiders. I mean, they have nothing to lose. They don't care about anything. They're not making the playoffs. If they did, it'd be a miracle to make the playoffs too. But in the back of their minds, they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're just out there to go whoop some ass and take some names. And the over under, I mean, they put up 63 points. They put up 63 against the Chargers. And if I remember correctly, no one on the Chargers defense was hurt besides Bosa. So it's not like the Chargers defense was like completely overhauled and they had, makeshift guys in there like Derwin James, Will Mack. They're all playing. They all just got their ass whooped. And you can't even blame even if Herbert was there, like what are you gonna blame Herbert for then? I mean, like, oh dang, Herbert, you didn't put up 63. Sorry, it's kind of hard to put up 63. That's why it was the first time in Raiders history they put up 63 or something like that. I remember reading. So I mean, and the Raiders have been around forever.
This is true.
I can just see it now, like a Christmas miracle. And plus, Kansas City has not been playing good. I mean, they just not. I mean, that spread at 10, the Raiders almost covered it last time at 10. And it was a couple of unfortunate events in which it is the reason why they didn't cover it. But I mean, the quarterback, he just has to play the position to which don't turn the ball over, which in some games he's done a good job at it. Some games he's not done a good job at it. Patrick Mahomes of lately has not had a good job of not turning the ball over, but it's also not really his fault either. It's half the time it's his own players, just being complete awful. Isaiah Pacheco hasn't played for 2 weeks. Without Isaiah Pacheco, their running game has looked inútil, which means useless. I mean, the Raiders, they can get to the quarterback. They can pass rush. We saw it last week. They can pass rush. Kansas City's whole problem this year is their tackles have not been on point. We might see Max Crosby have a field day against them. We don't know. I mean, it's a Christmas miracle time. We're talking about miracles here. And we're just shooting for it, So I can easily see the Raiders making a game of it, making a great spectacle. Kansas City. Do I think they absolutely by far and wide win? No, I can't tell you that. But I mean, go from scoring 3-0 one week to going 63-21.
Yeah.
I mean, that just kind of shows you how volatile this team is. It's either on or it's not. It's going to be a nice day in Kansas City, so it's just cloudy with 40 degrees. I mean, that's fine. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. Kelsey has been in the news for every other thing in the world, but he has not looked good. He just hasn't looked good.
No, that's
at
what
this
we're
point in
not
time,
talking
the
about.
only wide receiver on that team that's even worth anything is Rice.
Rice. Yep.
And I know that the Raiders got rid of Marcus Peters, but regardless of that, they got rid of Marcus Peters, and they've actually become quite good. Maybe he was just a toxicity in the locker room. I don't know, but maybe it had to be done. But I could easily see the Raiders making an upset here.
Yeah, no, they definitely. I mean, Chiefs, just like you said, have not been playing well. They're definitely going to lose at least one more game. I think that's what we said maybe a week or two ago. So it could be this game. It could be next week. We'll have to see. For me, my second game before we talk about the Ravens and 49ers, I'm going to go with actually tomorrow's game. Saints and Rams. I think this has huge implications because, New Orleans is looking to win the division. That's probably the only way you can probably sneak in the NFC. And then the Rams. The Rams have caught fire. I think they've won the last 4 out of 5 or something like that.
Let's go test your knowledge. Yep.
4 out of 5, and they lost to Baltimore in overtime. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, they would have won that game if they just covered the punt. Special teams is really important. But anyway, going back to the game, this is huge. Derek Carr looked like he got into a groove last week, but honestly, Carr has been on and off, hit or miss. He's kind of like Gabe Davis this season. One day he has a good game, the next week he looks piss poor. Matt Stafford is definitely on the heater right now. This man is slinging it. Multiple touchdowns in every single of the last 5 games, I'm pretty sure. Cup is back to his old self. And Puka Nacua, this man is just cooking. You can see his stats right here: 87 catches for 1,100 yards, 4 tubs. I mean, outstanding rookie season. I think it's going to come down to gunslinging. Honestly, I think Chris Olave, he should be playing. He did get hurt last game. It's going to come down to gunslinging. Which quarterback is going to put up the best numbers? Not going to turn the ball over. Because both running games aren't magnificent. Both teams want to run the ball, but this just hasn't looked the best for either team, right? And
the Saints' running game is mainly just a quick dink route to Alvin Kamara. They don't even run the ball, man. It's just a quick dink to him.
Yeah, and so with that, like I said, it's gonna be up to the gunslinging, who can sling it better, who can keep the ball, not turn the ball over. Because turnovers is what's going to be this game. If you can get a turnover or two on defense, either side, because both teams' defenses are decent, get a turnover or two, that's going to be the game. That's going to be the ball game right there. Both teams are 7-7, so yeah, like I said, this is huge implications. Saints with a win in the NFC South goes a long way. And then with the Rams, hey, your division, there's the 3 contenders are still. I mean, Seahawks just beat the Eagles. Seahawks still alive. You gotta match them win for win now to see who's gonna get second place in that division, and then whoever gets in second place is gonna get that 6th or 7th playoff spot. So, because Dallas has the 5th, we think, or maybe Eagles look bad, so maybe the Eagles get the 5th spot. We don't know. But it's going to be, one of those two, and then it's going to be whoever is in second place in the NFC. What are they? NFC West. So it'll be a good game. It'll probably be the best Thursday night game we've seen because the rest of them have been poop. They have been poop.
Yeah, the last good Thursday night game was Carolina versus the Bears. I remember right.
I don't know about that one.
Whoa!
I think no, actually, it was gonna be Bengals and Ravens until Joey got hurt, but this is probably gonna be the best one. So with that being said, I mean, we already pretty much, like you said, hit on Dallas Miami last week. It's gonna be a good game. We'll see if Dallas can take the show on the road. Probably not. Definitely, I'm favoring Miami in this one. But the Christmas Day game, probably the best game of the week, honestly. Ravens, 49ers, the two number one seeds, the two powerhouses. Very similar teams, although 49ers, you could probably say, a little bit more pass happy. I mean, look at the spread. I mean, they're in Levi Stadium. San Fran's favored by 5. Now, what? San Fran was favored by 3 in Philly, right? So
Yep.
They would have got 6 if they were at home. So basically, they're saying Baltimore's a little bit better than Philly. Do we think that's the case? Does Baltimore have a better shot to beat the 49ers than Philly?
I think they did before Keaton Mitchell got hurt. I think that was the big blow to the Ravens, and I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna take a few weeks. Not a few weeks. I think it's probably about a week to figure out what the heck they're gonna be doing. Where they're gonna where their game plan's gonna head to. Because right now they're, according to that, like Lamar Jackson's their leading running back. Did you know the memes correctly? We were going to have an awesome game from Nick Bosa. He sees a little darkness on the other side, and he's just got he's in for the kill.
He's going for the kill.
And now he's got his buddy from college right next to him.
Yeah.
Who's probably an honorary killer. Anywho, no, something that I think is gonna be interesting in this game is I think it's funny how Brock Purdy is like in more of a running for MVP than Christian McCaffrey is in the running for the MVP.
Yeah.
But like, let's be honest here. You didn't have Deebo Samuel for 3 games. I think it was like 2 games. But you didn't have Deebo Samuel for like 2 games, and you didn't win any of those games. Not trying to say Brock Purdy's not good. Obviously, Brock Purdy's pretty good. He's like pretty good, right? He's pretty good. He's not great. He's not amazing. He's not like, oh my god, like I just lost my pants. He's that good. No, like he's just pretty good. You know, he's like pretty good. But Christian McCaffrey's like awesome. Like it's kind of hard to stop him. I mean,
yeah,
he scored a touchdown for like 15 straight weeks.
Yep.
And that's what just is mind-boggling to me. Do I think Christian McCaffrey should be above Lamar Jackson for MVP? No, not really. But I think Christian McCaffrey should be above his own quarterback for MVP. Because, I mean, half of Purdy's touchdowns are also McCaffrey. Because what they're showing you right there, 13 touchdowns for McCaffrey, that's just his 13 rushing touchdowns. He's got like 6 passing touchdowns, or receiving touchdowns, sorry. He's got almost 20 touchdowns. I think the only person in the league with more touchdowns than him is Mostert. And, I mean, Mostert just kind of gets fed. He got fed like 3 against the Broncos, and like he gets fed 2 or 3 every other game. So McCaffrey also has a lot more mouths to feed on his team because, no offense, but like Waddle is more of like a team guy. You know, Waddle steps back to let Hill do his thing because Waddle's just really happy to be winning. Also, like Devon A-Chain was there, but then Devon A-Chain was only there for like 4 games and got hurt, so he was never there around very long. Christian McCaffrey has to share with, Kittle, Ayuk, Samuel, and then whatever other guy, Mitchell, they throw out there to get a pass as well. So I think that's something that's funny to look at this game. Like maybe Chris McCaffrey kind of makes his case on, everyone in the world is well, not everyone in the world. Sorry, most people in the United States, not everyone in the world, but most people in the United States are watching this game. Maybe some Canadians, maybe some Mexicans. We all like these games.
Brazilians.
Brazilians.
You're British, and I think the British they watch.
They're not going to be up at what would it be 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, it'd be really late for them. So whoever is on in North America time zones.
Yeah. So I mean, the way I look at this game, I don't think Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham Jr. is anything to worry about on the injury report. It's probably just an illness. Pretty much everyone's getting ill at this point in the season. It just happens. Yeah. It's cold.
It's cold.
But
flu's going around.
I don't know. The Ravens playing NFC teams have pretty much blown out most NFC teams this year.
But that's been at home though. They're on the road.
Yeah. I was about to say that as well. But I don't know. I just feel like the 49ers are like a team right now that like I don't know if I want to try them too hard. Like in my opinion, I this game should be kind of a defensive fight. I kind of think this is going to be more of a shootout kind of game. That's the vibe I get. So I mean that over-unders at 46.5. It started at 45.5. I feel pretty confident saying like the over is going to hit. So like some of the parlay is like 49ers money line because I don't think the Ravens can beat them in San Fran, and over-under, take the over, parlay them together with something that you almost know is pretty much guaranteed is a Chris McCaffrey touchdown, and you got a little three-legger right there. And probably Lamar touchdown too. I mean, Lamar's going to be running away from Bosa, so he's probably going to try to be running towards the end zone when he does it. So,
yeah, I was just about to say, Lamar is definitely going to be featured as I think they're going to do what the Bills did and start running, do some more dedicated quarterback runs. Josh Allen has been running a lot more, but also they've been letting James Cook, right? But in this case, they don't have a James Cook. Their running backs have fallen like trees, right? So definitely Lamar's going to be running the ball. I can easily see 50, 60 yards rushing from Lamar, a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey touchdown, and then parlay that with the over because, yeah, I mean, it's starting to trend up. So when it starts to trend up, it's hard to predict scores at least. Vegas is pretty good at, with the spread and stuff like that. But when it comes to scoring, it's pretty, it's pretty hard to predict. But when it starts to trend up like that, you might as well just get ahead of the curve right before it gets to who knows, before kickoff, it might get to 48.5, something ridiculous like that. So take it while it's low. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a shootout. And I think I said this 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is the Ravens, I think their biggest obstacle, right, is shootouts because Lamar has played great this year, but he hasn't. The MVP talk, I think, is a little premature because I don't think, honestly, you can't say for certain that they're winning because of him. They definitely have a really good offensive group, and I think collectively the offense is just been a lot better. I mean, his numbers they're good, but they're not outstanding. And there have been turnovers on offense, and at times they have been stagnant, and their biggest problem is their secondary. So what do the 49ers have? They got offensive weapons everywhere, out the butt, right? They got Ayuk, Kittle, Debo, McCaffrey. The list goes on and on. And their biggest thing.
Forget about him. Juwan Jennings gets your ass too. So,
and their biggest thing is, when they get a lead, they're just gonna keep the foot on the pedal. And I think the Ravens, their biggest thing is they can get a lead and then they kind of take the foot off the pedal. So we're gonna see. I think the biggest key to this game is who gets that lead first, who can establish a lead, and who's going to be able to fight back. Because if the 49ers get the lead, I don't think the Ravens, if the 49ers go up by 10, I think it's hard for the Ravens to kind of cut back into the game. But if the Ravens go up by 10 or something, 10 or 14, we'll see the 49ers if they can come back from behind. We haven't really seen it this year, but it'll be a good game. It's definitely going to be a shootout. I'm going to go 49ers just because they're at home.
So an interesting factoid, because you brought up the fact that they're playing an NFC team on the road. The last NFC team they played on the road was the Cardinals, and they only won it 31-24, and that's the Cardinals.
31-24. Wow.
So they only won 31-24. That was the Cardinals with Dobbs. So it's not the Kyler Murray Cardinals, but it's still, was a decent Cardinals. But if you look at the stat sheet, Cardinals kind of outplayed them. Cardinals had more sacks. Cardinals had more yards. They had more rushing and passing yards. They unfortunately threw 2 interceptions, so that wasn't in their favor. They went 0 for 2 on 4th down, had more time possession, and had more penalties. So what you would figure a Cardinals team to do, which is pretty much the opposite of what you'll believe a 49ers team to do. And if we don't remember correctly, the 49ers just beat the Cardinals 45-29.
Yep.
And, it could have been worse, but I feel like that's one of the reasons why this game might be a shootout and the 49ers just pull away from at the end.
Yeah, I think the 49ers, they're not really looking to possess the ball that long. I feel like they're looking to put up points on the board, and I think the Ravens, their biggest thing is controlling the time of possession, right? They're going to run the ball, they're going to bleed the clock, they're going to make it so that you don't have a lot of time to score when you get the ball. But if we're honest, the 49ers don't need a lot of time to score. They get big chunk plays. The Ravens, they give up big chunk plays. So I think that's why this is just not lopsided, but this is a clear mismatch situation. Unless the Ravens, and John Harbaugh, cook up something. Because this is I know they're both alphas. They're both the best in their respective conferences, but it's kind of a mismatch. If you want to be honest, this is a mismatch in terms of style of play. It's going to be hard for the Ravens to just turn around their style of play and just go toe for toe with the 49ers, putting up points quickly,
I believe it.
All right. Any final thoughts on Week 16? We got a bunch of good games.
I don't really have any more final thoughts. I'm hopeful for certain teams to win. See if they can or not. Sunday 24th. I don't know how many games I'll be watching that whole day. There might be too many festivities going on to be paying too much attention. The 25th, I don't know if I'll be watching. There'll be a lot of driving and festivities as well. So we'll see. We'll see what games we actually get to watch and what games we don't actually get to watch.
Yeah.
I think the one game I will try to, without a doubt, see is Miami-Dallas. Obviously, I'm going to be watching 49ers-Baltimore. What else do you want me to watch? Heat and 76ers?
This man's hating, y'all. He's a hater.
Hating. How am I hating? Man, get out of here.
Coming up next, guys, we got Rapid Fire. Stay tuned. It's coming right at you. We went over NFL. Now we're going to go over some NBA. We didn't really go over anything on Monday just because not a lot of NBA news or excitement happened over the past week, but we have some couple things to go over. First, we'll go over 2 games last night. I don't know if you saw them. John Morant versus Zion Williamson. Ja with his first game winner. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was a little depressing. I had a nice little parlay, and I had Ja Morant to get 1 3-pointer. I just threw it in there to be cute, and he went 0 for 5 from 3. That was the only thing that missed. That was the only leg that missed.
Wow.
I had Memphis money line. I had Ja to get 25 plus. I had Ja to get 6+ assists. Who else did I have? Oh, and then I had Valanciunas to get more than 13.5. So all of it hit. But at the end of the day, it didn't even matter. Ja just couldn't hit a 3. Unfortunate as it is.
0 for 5.
It's very clear that during the time period in which he didn't play, he did not practice his 3.
Yeah, he's always been a poor 3-point shooter, but that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he normally gets about 1 a game. it was like the worst part, it was like minus 750. So I was like,
Oh,
why am I even adding this? Why am I even adding it? And I was like, you greedy. You need it.
you should have. Yeah, you wanted some extra juice. You wanted some extra juice. We all know.
Schmeagle.
Yeah, I didn't watch most of it. I only watched the fourth quarter once I got off of work. But I mean, it was interesting. Fourth quarter was definitely electric. Zion, another disappointment. 13 points, really, bro, in a primetime game against guys coming back. Since he only played 25 minutes, so maybe he got hurt. I don't know.
Oh, he was in foul trouble in the first half.
Okay, mate. Okay, that's definitely why.
But they were doing. But
fouls.
if you pay attention to the box score at the top, like they were whooping them. I think they went into halftime with like a 15, 16 point lead or something. Zion had barely played.
Memphis only scored 16, in a second, so yeah, they were up by double digits. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I think Zion was more of a problem than it was a help.
Yeah. And then the other primetime game last night on TNT, Boston and Golden State. Boston was kind of in control most of the game, but fourth quarter overtime, Steph Curry went off. I think he scored 20. I think he scored 20 in the fourth quarter and in overtime and hit the game winner, or not the game winner, but like the seal the deal shot when Chris Paul got the rebound and then threw it out to him, and then he shot a 3-pointer from Mars and it went in. I don't know if you watched this game. I watched this one. This was a good one.
I didn't watch it because I went to bed, but I right before the game, I think right when the game started, they didn't score many points in the first first 4 or 5 minutes, and the over under went all the way down to 230. So I was like, and I slapped all I could on that over, and I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning and I said, "Good job," and I walked out of there.
He walked out with a little bit more paper than he did when he went to sleep. I like it. Tatum did hurt his ankle early in the first, but he came back. So but he was probably still hobbled. That's why he didn't probably play particularly well. Derek White though has been showing out, bro. 30 points. Derek White might sneak into the All-Star. With all these injuries, I think he might sneak in there. This guy's balling with the bald head too. I think that changed him. He's a changed man now.
Bald head.
Yeah.
Markel's talking slap.
Bald headed. All right.
Let's get to these Christmas Day games.
Christmas Day. This is what the folks really want. All right. What games are you looking forward to? We got 5 games.
The only one that I think is interesting is Boston at LA.
Boston at GOAT. Yeah, I see that.
I'm not. I don't find myself. This is what I'm going to say. I don't find myself watching Bucks versus Knicks, which is the 12 o'clock game.
Yeah.
I don't find myself watching Golden State versus the Nuggets. I don't particularly think that one's going to be. I don't know. That one might be a little bit more intriguing.
That one would be better than the Bucks Knicks, but the Knicks have been on a heater, so that one could get interesting because both teams are just gonna. This one is gonna be high scoring, and so probably the first 3 are gonna be high scoring.
Heat 76ers. It's definitely gonna be low scoring. Joel Embiid. What do you me for? Joel Embiid doesn't do anything against good teams. He only does good against bad teams.
Joel's had 11 straight 30 and 10 games. What are you talking about?
I want to see some 40s and 50s. I got him in fantasy, man. I want some big numbers, not
he did. He
numbers.
Put up 50 against the Wiz.
That's the Wizards. I just said good teams, man. I just said good teams. You not listen to what I just said? I said good teams. The Wizards are the opposite, the complete opposite of a good team.
I think he put up 40 on the Raptors.
Oh, cool. The Raptors have a 500 record.
Hey,
they're not a good team.
If you're 500, you're a good team in my eyes.
What are the Heat? 11 and 11?
Nah, Miami's 2 or 3 games above 500.
So do too. Maybe he'll have a good game,
Beating the Magic right now.
Oh, that's something impressive. Oh yeah, Damon told me the other day, why aren't you talking about the Magic a little more?
Thanks for listening, Damon. We're actually talking about them right now. Before we get into the Sunday games, Magic, we'll go in the standings, and we'll just go down really quickly. Boston's playing really well. Bucks really well. I think the Bucks are 5-0 if Dame scores 30. So maybe you let Dame score 30 more often because he definitely needs the ball more often. Sixers. What do you want to say about the Sixers? I mean, they've been good. Joel's been on a heater, like I said.
They're all right. I just think the 76ers are all right. I think they're the team like we see every year. They get to the playoffs and nothing happens. So, I also think the 76ers have had a pretty easy schedule so far in the season as well.
Yeah, they played a lot. I mean, they only played the Celtics, really.
Yeah, they did have that upset win against the Celtics, but I'm pretty sure they were at home. So, we'll see how you do again when you're on the road at the Celtics this time around.
Magic are in 4th place. They were in 2nd, like I think last week they were in 2nd. They're playing really well. I think they're this year's version of the Jazz. You know how the Jazz got to like a hot start. But I think for the Magic, I think they're good enough to stay in the playoff race. Unfortunately, the Jazz realized they were the Jazz and they didn't have but one good player and they needed to get rid of some people, so they started to tank. If you're the Magic, I don't think you tank, right? I think you just keep playing.
If they're the Magic, I don't know what in your mind you would think about tanking for. I mean, you got enough young talent that kind of need to start winning with it. And you kind of need to be trying to attract a star, Donovan Mitchell, to come play with you.
Yeah, because I think they should have cap space. They should have some cap space because their players are young. I don't think they've really signed anyone to massive contracts. So they're gonna have some cap space upcoming. So maybe in the offseason they trade for Mitchell because like we've been hinting at it. Mitchell's probably gone either at the trade deadline or sometime into the offseason, and I think that has been expedited by Garland and Mobley being hurt for multiple weeks. So we'll see how that goes. Knicks, like I said earlier, on a heater. Miami, more or less. We've been 500 in the last 10. It is what it is. Hero is back and is playing well. Pacers, what do you think?
Since the in-season tournament, they kind of fell off.
Yeah, they can't. You think they're falling back to earth? I mean,
I think they were playing with their hearts out because of the in-season tournament, and now that it's gone, now that it's over, I don't think they're ready to give up on the season or anything, obviously, but yeah. I just think like the real world has kind of hit them, kind of thing. Like like you said, they came back down to earth. The real world came into picture. That kind of aspect of it.
I agree. Nets and Raptors, I think they're in the similar places and the Hawks. I think they're all three of those teams in similar spots where they're okay. They're not. I mean, if you want to watch them, watch them. Some nights they're interesting to watch. Other nights it's kind of boring. We'll see what they do, and then the rest of the teams will just poop. With one team losing 24 in a row, make it 25 tonight. The West, surprisingly, Minnesota is in first place still, and Thunder are in second. How do you feel about that? Nuggets in third, Kings in fourth. How do you feel about the top four in the West?
I think there's a lot of movement that's going to happen in the West. I think that's easy to say. Now, I don't think there's much controversy in saying it. There's going to be a lot of movement in the West. That 10 seed is not going to stay at that 10 seed spot. The 11 seed's not going to stay at that 11 seed spot. That 9 seed's probably not even going to be in the top 10 anymore. To be fair with you, number 2 is probably going to plumble down to number 6, and number 1 is probably going to finish around 3 to 4.
Wow.
But no, I like the idea that the Clippers are getting hot now and fixing their problems now. So later on in the season they can kind of like go with the flow. I also don't think Dallas is going to be up in the top 5 either. I feel bad for Luka because Luka, they should have never gotten rid of Brunson. Should have never let Brunson walk.
Yep.
I just think of how deadly this team would be with Brunson still there. So
they'd be damn near unstoppable, honestly. Dallas at 5, Clippers at 6, Pelicans at 7, Lakers at 8, all in similar spots. I agree with you. Dallas is probably going to drop a little bit just because Kyrie's out. They're definitely missing him. I don't think Luca and Hardaway Jr. can kind of make up for that. And Lively's hurt out. He's out too, right? Isn't he hurt now?
Yeah, he's hurt for a couple of weeks. Yeah,
Damn,
or not
yeah.
a couple of weeks. I think it's only a couple of days, but
A couple of days.
It doesn't matter. Days turn into weeks at this point.
Clippers 8 straight wins. Pelicans lost close one last night. Lakers lost 2 in a row. They kind of come down to earth since winning the in-season tournament. Lakers gonna have to make a move sooner or later. I think they don't have enough scoring. They got plenty of defense, not enough scoring. I think them lacking scoring is kind of hurting the defense because they're trying to expend more energy trying to get a basket when they could, if they had someone who can just get them baskets other than LeBron, Austin Reeves, and AD, then they can spend more energy on defense. So I think that's really hurting them right now. They definitely could use, like you said, I think last week or 2 episodes ago, you said Jordan Clarkson would be perfect for the Lakers. I feel like that's a good pickup for them. They gotta explore that. Then to round it off, Rockets, Suns, Warriors, Jazz. We're not gonna talk about the teams at the bottom. They are poop. What do you think about the last 3 teams or 4 teams I said there? Rockets, they were doing good, kind of falling off a little bit. Suns, Beal is out for a couple more weeks. And the Warriors are figuring things out without Draymond. Draymond's going to be out for, I think they said at least 3 weeks.
I don't know much. I don't know much about the Warriors. I stopped watching him because of Draymond.
Boycott.
Honestly, I could see. No, I can't see it. I don't see how the Rockets stay in the running in the top 10. I also don't think the Suns. Finish in the top five either. I think the Suns are going to be one of those teams that we think is really good the whole season, and they just underachieve almost the whole season. Because honestly, it's just Durant and Booker. I think they've taken away some of the identity of their whole team, trying to get Beal back in it as well. I mean, Grayson Allen and Okogie every other game are having good games, and then they don't use them for a whole game. And it's just like, dude, how are you going to let Grayson Allen go for 28, and then the next game you give him 3 shots? Or Kogi goes for 20, and then the next game Okogie gets 2 shots. Like, in what world does this seem logical? And they got that guy off the bench,
Watanabe.
Watabumby is what he should be, because he just tries to shoot every time he's on the field. Dude, just stop shooting.
Shoot, bro. Shoot.
Well, make him go in.
This is true also. All right, back to the Christmas Day games. Shout out to Damon for that. So you're not going to watch the Knicks Bucks. You're not going to watch the second game, Denver Nuggets.
It's Christmas. I'm going home to see my parents. I got other things to do. I got some football on. The only games I might watch are Dallas, Phoenix, because it's 10:30 at night. Pretty much 49ers, Ravens will be over at that point.
Yeah.
Boston, Lakers, just because of the rivalry. Just because I like to see how Boston is on the road. Boston just seems really unfortunate. No, it's not unfortunate. They just seem kind of bad on the road.
Yeah.
I think they got to find that ability to win on the road. And then I might watch Golden State, Denver, just see how many points Curry puts up. But other than that, Joker hasn't looked awesome this season, in my opinion. I don't know if that's a hot take, but he's looked pretty okay.
He
for
looked
Joker
better.
terms.
Yeah, his standards. Yeah, he looked better when Murray was out. Murray comes back. He kind of took his foot off the gas. I don't know maybe he wants Murray to get more into his groove, so he's kind of stepping off the gas. I don't know. I'll definitely watch at least these 3 right here. Definitely Golden State, Denver. This is going to be a shootout. Damn, so they get the spreads, but not the money lines. Interesting. Yeah, Draymond's off for 3 more weeks, so we'll see if, defensively, if the Warriors can stop Jokic Porter and Aaron Gordon, because Warriors don't really have size after they get rid of Wiseman. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. I'll probably go with Denver in this one. Up next, Boston at LA, GOAT versus Tatum. I'm going to take the Lakers in this one. I think they matched up last Christmas, and I think that was the one where – was that the one where, like, LeBron Tatum, like, goaltended LeBron off the backboard, and then LeBron was freaking the fuck out, and then Pat Bev took the camera and just showed it to the ref and got ejected from the game?
I could not tell you if that was the game.
I think it was around. I think it was either Christmas or around Christmas, but that was one hell of a game. They always play well when they go against each other, so that should be a really good game. I'm gonna take Lakers in that one. Lakers are right now even money line, so hey, I would probably take it right now. While it's even, at least. Well, if the Lakers play bad, it's probably it might go up even a little bit more. Sixers, Heatles. This will be a good one just because we got most of our people back. Hero's back. Bam's back. K-Love has been out the last game. We'll see if he comes back. He's been playing some good minutes. But Joel's been on the heater. Like I said, 11 games of 30 and 10. He's been cooking folks. But Bam usually matches up pretty well. A rivalry game. I'm going to go with Miami in this one. I think because they're playing in Miami. So I'm going to go Miami in this one. Miami is 1.5 point favorite. Go ahead and pick them. Parlay with Lakers money line. You're looking at a good payout right there. And that is all for NBA. Anything else before we hop off? We won't see everyone for a week because Christmas was on Monday, so no show Monday, but we'll be back next Wednesday, of course.
No, I got nothing more to add. I'm interested to see how the games play out this weekend, how NBA goes down. Excited for Christmas time, everyone. Excited. I got a dog booping me in the leg right now because she wants to go play. So, you know what I'm about to go do. So,
all right. We won't see you guys for a week. Enjoy Christmas. Happy holidays, all that good stuff. If you don't celebrate Christmas, we have one episode next week on Wednesday, and then we won't see you again because the following Monday is New Year's. But we'll probably go over that a little bit more next week. But enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we're out. Peace.
Giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.